Hello, everyone.
Hey, I have a question.
What's up?
What are we talking about today?
All right, we're talking a lot of stuff today. We're talking about PlayStation fans call for PS to buy out Konami, Luna, Amazon Cloud Gaming, Hispanic, who influenced video game culture. That's a tough one. I really couldn't find much, but we'll talk about that. Rock the vote and how to register. I think that's an important topic. It's going to be straight how to vote and how to register. Microsoft purchase of Cinemax and possible industry shockwaves caused by the purchase. One Division trailer. Tom Holland to start in Uncharted movie, John Cena starting in Suicide Squad spin-off, Dragon Age 4 preview. Sources say PlayStation 5 digital edition stock far lower than standard PS5. Dark Crystal Age of Renaissance cancel at Netflix. The Boys. So all this and more on this week's episode. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
What's going on, guys? I'm Juancho. With me are
Roz.
Man.
and we are the hosts of Keeping Up with the Geek Bros, a family podcast. You can find us on weebgeekspc.com, the first place to find us and listen to us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is Geek Bros with a 0. Email us at geekbroswith a0@yahoo.com and youtube.com/5ref Studios if you want to look at our beautiful faces. So what's on your minds today, gents? What's on your mind? Let's go ahead, man. Talk to me. Tell me.
Man. Really nothing going on. I finished, I caught up on the Raised by Wolves that you guys asked me. I've got every episode down now.
Mother. I'm behind one episode.
I watched yesterday's episode, so I'm actually caught up on everything. Same thing with The Boys.
I'm the asshole.
All the way. Can we talk all the way up to the last episode?
No. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm so angry now.
Also got my mom. She was asking about that show, and I told her to watch it. I gave her the same advice you gave me, Roz. So, Mom, I know you're listening. Thank you, love you. And just finishing Origins, just trying to get that finished so I can finally jump into Odyssey because I'm taking my sweet time getting there. And that's about it.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Origins is a big game, right?
Yeah.
Odyssey, it's at least 4 times the size.
I'm only level 21 of that game.
Oh no!
I know.
I'm about to fight the snake, the scarab.
The scarab, yeah. You got so much to go.
Yeah, still have 4 more guys to kill.
I know.
Oh, but that's it for me. I got nothing new.
Man, I've been Spelunky 2, which is the biggest pain in my ass and most enjoyable game I think I've played in a while. And Hades. If you guys haven't played Hades is really good. It's like Supergiant's new game, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you guys ever played Bastion or Transistor or any of those games, man, like great story, great music, awesome fighting.
Where have you been playing Splunky too?
Switch.
Oh, okay, that's why. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
It's pretty good. But I mean, outside of that, nothing really. Just dealing with the endless rain. Literally every time I go to the store, it rains. So I'm tired of getting drenched in South Florida. I think. Listen, I think. What do you guys think? That we maybe wait till the end of Raised by Wolves and just do like a 30 or 45-minute special on it, because I feel like that thing needs its own conversation.
Just the last episode, it needs so much. Like, it just needs to be broken down.
Like I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, man.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. We can do that. I'm still here.
Doesn't have to be formal or anything. We just quickly
Raised by Wolves,
jump in, talk about it, and then get out, because that show, oh my God, it's bizarre and wonderful.
I first I was like, why? And then I'm like, oh, actually, I was watching the first of the new episodes this week on my couch in the living room. My wife was working, and the first episode, you see the guy doing something with a knife, and I'm like, no, and my wife's like, get out of here! I don't want to see this nasty stuff. What's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, trying to go back to the room and out of my surround sound. I'm so depressed watching. I just turned it off, so I waited till I can actually go back to the living room to actually enjoy it. So, all right, what's been on my mind? So Mafia came out this week, and that's been one of my first favorite computer games that I've ever played when I was a childhood. One of the best stories. I got so deep into the story that at the same time I started reading Gangster by Lorenzo Carcaterra, which is a great book. After that, I ended up playing The Godfather 1 and 2, which I think during that time they had transitioned.
Yeah.
And then I'm just in so much awe of just watching this game play in high def. I
What a
only
good
played for a
remaster.
little bit. Yes, really well. I only played it for a little bit just because I want to really get back into my cinnamon Egyptian guy. I just want to get back on there. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, just trying to survive, trying to stay safe, trying to watch my surroundings. That's pretty much what I can do. Um, so what's going on with the Geek Bros? Mother says the Mandalorian season 2 trailer featuring Man, Squeezy Bits, Joe Taro, it's out, and podcast 108 video recap is out as well. So check that out on YouTube /Vibra Studios. If this is your first time listening to our broadcast, then please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you're watching us, then don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. YouTube has recently changed its algorithm to favor corporate channels, so independent productions like ours aren't being recommended, reducing the views and limiting our exposure to new audience. Without further ado, episode 109 starts now. The world is as it is today. Actually, this happened last week. We were in the middle of finishing up the podcast, and we found out that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. So that is what's currently happening in our current event era here in the United States of America, and it's very sad and very tragic to lose one of these great judicial judges for the Supreme Court of the United States. It's very sad. I don't know if you guys have any input or anything you want to add to that.
Man, honestly, it's too much of a political hot potato for us to get into. But yeah, man, that was a huge loss for the country. That's as far as I'll go.
All right. So what's time for the fresh scent?
Fresh.
What's new in video game world? So it's starting to pick up again. You know what that means? Summer is done, because summer is the driest month of the season for video games. It's so dry. Oh, but it's finally over with. Hello Neighbor, Stadia, September 20th. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, PlayStation 4, September 22nd. Art of Raleigh, PC, September 23rd. On Rail, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Switch, and PC, September 23. Kirby Fighters 2 for the Switch on September 23. Going Under, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. Little Big Workshop, Xbox One, September 24th. I actually went on Twitter today and tried to win me a copy of that game. At the same time, they were giving out a copy of Mafia, so I don't know if I won. I gotta check that out. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition for the Switch and PC for September 24th. If you have Epic Games Store for PC, their game is for free right now, so check that out if you have the Epic Games Store. Serious Sam 4 for Stadia and PC, September 24th. Tennis World Tour 2, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, September 24th. Mafia Definitive Edition came out today. Actually came out yesterday at 8 p.m. for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. Port Royale 4 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Troll Hunter, Defenders of Arcadia, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on September 25th. And that is all I have. And Splunky 2 on the Switch. So that's that.
It's very good.
Recently added on Game Pass, Kathy Rain, A Detective is Born, Night in the Woods, and Halo 3 ODST. And Company of Heroes 2, the complete edition, is on Game Pass for PC. We also have on Steam big sales. Real quick, we have WB Games Publisher Weekend Sale from the 24th to the 28th. Check that out. You have Devil May Cry franchise up to 75% off, and Paradox interactive strategic weekend, up to 77% off on their old games. Don't get tricked there. The new ones don't have discounts. So those for Crusader King's 3, check that out on Game Pass. It's free. So that's it for that. All right, guys. So as we continue the video game world, what is this about PlayStation fans calling for PS to buy out Konami, my man? Talk to me. Tell me what's all this about?
So, after Microsoft announced their acquisition of Bethesda, fans of PlayStation, since, PlayStation hasn't done much of anything, they've been calling they called out PlayStation basically and said that they need to give an answer back and basically buy Konami, or at least its IPs. It's understandably because some PlayStation fans are upset with the news, and games like Elder Scrolls will come to PS5, but unlike Minecraft, will still be available everywhere else. So Twitter's already calling out Sony, just like everybody else is, and we'll see where it goes from there. They haven't responded at all to any of it. And again, as a PlayStation person, this is very understandable why something needs to happen here. It's horrible. Nothing's changed. It's just sad. It's very disheartening. It hurts my heart. Hurtful right here. I want to see something happen. I want to say something back. Something. It's great.
I think this was so out of their league.
They weren't ready for it. I think when they just decided to buy all these studios at the beginning of last year, they're like, okay. They're like, and then out of nowhere, they just came full throttle. The blank checks just kept rolling out.
Basically, it's just.
I don't know if they can afford Konami.
Can they afford any big studio like that?
No, they can't. Remember, Sony is a big corporation. They have a market cap of just under $100 billion, which is pretty good. But like you said, can they afford other studios? They probably have $10 billion cash on hand, but that doesn't mean that that Sony corporate is willing to give Sony game, All In Entertainment, the game arm of the company, that much money to buy a studio, even though the game branch of the company, I think earned almost 50% of their income last year. I think it was.
The rest of TVs and all that good
but
stuff. They don't have
I don't know. So. Like comparatively, Microsoft has more cash available to buy things than the entire worth of Sony. So
yeah, they do.
They have money to play with. And this purchase wasn't really a direct shot at Sony. Like, I don't think Phil Spencer last year said their competition, they don't see Nintendo and PlayStation or Sony as their competition. They see Google and Amazon as their competition. Because Microsoft is a services company. And after today's announcement, which we're going to get into in just a moment, Microsoft was 100% right. Buying Bethesda was not so much about, putting a shot across the bow of Sony, but fending off Amazon and Google and their streaming services by making the Microsoft streaming service so much more appealing.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. I mean, that's pretty much what they do up in here in Microsoft. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with what they are doing, and hopefully they can continue and they don't fail. And then as we continue there, Dragon Age 4 preview. I know we talked about Dragon Age 4, and I think it was one of the game shows that maybe a month ago. Yeah, they just touched it based that, hey, it's out. We're working on it. So, man, what do you find? What kind of information you found on Dragon Age 4?
Absolutely nothing. They didn't put out anything new. I think the only thing they put out was hold on one second. I will show you in 3, 2.
I know there was pictures.
1. There you go.
There it
is. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing that they showed. That's the only thing that I found. But they have been saying that they're going to change the dynamic of the game, which is a good idea because the last 2 were horrible.
You didn't like Origins?
No, that was the first one. The first one was
amazing.
Yeah, Origins was the only one that was good. The second one was garbage, and Inquisition was garbage.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they're going to change the dynamic of this game. I'm really hoping that they find a better direction and they bring back like the Origins version to this platform, because they just kind of went sideways on the last two. It was really, really bad. They do have a teaser trailer on there. And that's pretty much it. I haven't really read much of anything else that looked like it was going to give itself credit other than Solus.
I mean, I super agree with you about the first game being the best one in the series. No question. And now for the patented Raziel emotional destruction of all of us.
Yes.
I don't think this game's going to be good. Nobody's left at BioWare.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's left?
I mean, some fresh blood. Some fresh blood's always good.
Every time they add fresh blood, the game gets worse. Every time.
There's got to be one person. One person's got to save the day. I mean,
I guess. I mean, they brought back Casey Hudson, but I think he's back on the Mass Effect or whatever they're doing with Mass Effect. But Casey was always a Mass Effect guy. But David Gator and all the other writers, they're gone. They don't have any of the writers that created the Dragon Age series or the Baldur's Gate series before that, or Jade Empire or Neverwinter Nights or anything else. So I don't know. I'm going to go into this game expecting nothing. That way, if and when they deliver, I'm super excited.
So when I go into anything, I go Raz mode.
Yeah, just like expect the worst, because there's very few game companies where I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure they're going to make good shit. Like I have confidence in Cyberpunk. I'm sure that's going to be good. I have confidence in anything Rockstar produces because I'm sure it's going to be good. Although now that the two writers of the Hausers, the Hauser brothers, are gone, I don't know what Rockstar is going to do. But that's a whole other conversation.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so you're telling me that the last game Dragon Age had any good was in the 360, because Xbox One didn't have anything. Because Origins was for the 360.
Correct. It was a great game because that game absolutely had the spirit of the old BioWare Black Isle Interplay style computer RPGs. You could see
in the console.
Go ahead.
Well.
Say it again.
It played really well on the console. I was surprised.
Yeah, it played decently well on the consoles. On the PlayStation, it played horribly.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was jacked up. Like it took like 3 months for them to get a patch out. It was just like when Skyrim came out on the PlayStation 3. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
that game was super broken.
I never got to finish that game because of just the constant freezing of the game, and just it was just I gave up.
Hey, guess what? Doesn't matter. It's gonna be on Game Pass.
Yeah. I know. I saw it. Yay! And now that I have it, yay!
So I don't know. I hope it's good. I really do. Dragon Age had so much potential that it squandered.
It did. It really did.
Let's see, because Divinity Edition 2, it's a great game. I enjoy those type of
Divinity.
Divinity.
Yeah, Divinity. But that's Larian, man. Larian makes nothing but gold.
Such a great game.
That's a great developer.
I know it's off topic, but when I first played, comparing it to Dragon Age, the most recent ones, I enjoy Divinity much more enriched story. I feel like I'm playing a real
a CRPG,
Dungeons and Dragon game. Just because of the way it reads everything, it just reads everything like the Dungeon Master.
Man.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you play
Divinity?
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna need a list of games from you guys.
No problem.
What I need to play that's on Game Pass, because now that I've acquired it,
yeah,
I can run through it.
Yeah, well, you're not really gonna run through Divinity. It takes
that's a nice 100-hour game, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough one too. It's not an easy one.
Yeah, but here's the upside. It does feature 4-player co-op, which is pretty sweet.
It does.
And each one of the people playing, if you're playing co-op, is a possible protagonist. Like you guys absolutely will butt heads through the game. It's really interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
Plays really well. It really does. So there's sources saying the PlayStation 5 digital edition stocks far lower than the PS5.
Called it.
Why? What's going on with that?
Oh man, my guess was they saw the price drop that Microsoft, had with their $300 console, and they're like, "Fuck."
Yep.
I guess we're going to have to sell our disc-less version for $100 cheaper, because I guarantee you they were planning on doing 500 and then 450
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
disc and no disc
Mhm.
version.
So with that
they
being-
have that great console where they can say, "Dude, we have a console for $400, but it's never in stock." So you go to the store, you're like, "Let me get that $400 PlayStation 5." And they're like, "Nah, B, you
Nah,
got to
bro,
get the
sorry.
$500 box."
So what do you think then about Microsoft dropping the price down in Japan to compete with the PlayStation 5? I know they dropped it about
Simple,
$30.
honestly, 100%. It was simply yen conversion rate, because the PlayStation 5 costs like $30 cheaper in Japan
Okay.
on both versions.
Okay,
and that's
so then
due
I see
to
what the $30 thing is today. So
yeah. So it's not so much them saying, "Oh crap, we got to compete." It's them saying everything in Japan for some reason has that weird yen conversion rate where it ends up being cheaper to a certain point, but it's not anything spectacular.
So at the beginning of this video game war, as people are gonna call it now, back again, the next gen war, I wasn't excited. But now Microsoft acquiring all these studios, just not knowing what Microsoft is gonna do next is so. I want more. I want to see what else is gonna happen. I want to see.
yeah.
I want to see who's gonna
Oh,
throw the
yeah.
next punch.
In the span of
no.
1 week, I went from being completely uninterested to now having 2 pre-orders.
There you go.
I don't have any pre-orders. I'm not interested in doing that as of yet.
Are you
I'm
will?
gonna
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
I'm gonna wait a little bit. Although I think I might jump on the payment plan opportunity. I think I might do that.
Oh, you can't beat that. $35.
No, man.
For everything.
That's a good one.
And like, what is it at the end of it? You get it for like $80 cheaper than if you bought it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
You know-
it's obscene.
Well,
Sony needs to do something. It's not gonna happen.
Sony corporations they're not very gamer friendly. I mean, they make great games, but they've never been a company to be gamer friendly. Look what happened when they did the cross platform for Fortnite. They were against that. They were really hesitant about it. It was an outcry, and people were losing money. Their V-Bucks or F-Bucks, whatever it's called.
F-Bucks.
Yeah. When they were transferring.
Hey, since
money-
we're on the Sony dump, did you see what they said about Miles Morales, the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 upgrade?
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't get it.
You
You don't get an upgrade. If you buy Miles Morales for the PS4, you won't
have
get
to
the upgrade
repurchase
for the PS5.
Why do they do this? Like,
Am I wrong, or does this feel, man, like right before the PlayStation 3 launch, when they were cocky,
yeah,
and there was so much hubris? Like,
Yeah.
I am surprised that they didn't go on stage and say, "Hey, it's $600. If you really want it, you'll get a second job," like they
Yeah.
did with the PS3.
you'll pay for it. Don't worry.
You'll
If you
pay
really
for
want it, you'll
it.
get it. You're gonna get it. I feel like that's my my old school grandfather drill sergeant type. You know, It's like, I'm all over it all over again. It's like, why?
What a bizarre change of.
It This speaks to what Microsoft and Sony are. You have two companies right now. They're not just really taking out technology. It's who is going to ties more for the gamers. You have Microsoft who's actually listening to the gamers. They want this, and you have Sony. Yes, they have exclusives, but
That's it.
are they listening to their consumer? It's like
No.
how do I put it? Apple and Microsoft. You have an Apple and Android. Sorry, Apple and Android. You have an Apple loyalist. They will buy anything Apple as long as it has the logo. And I feel like the same Sony loyalists are going to buy the same PS5 and they're going to defend it until the end.
Not
Even
me.
though Apple is screwing them over, even though
Not
Sony's
me.
screwing them over, they're like going to be like, I don't see it. Oh, it's another great title. This is what I feel is going to happen.
As
Um,
excited as I am about the new, exclusive games that they have, I'm not excited to go back into that same format again. Like, okay, yeah, I'm great. I'm happy for God of War. Okay, great. I'm so great about, but it's not enough for me to go, yeah, I'll buy a PS5 and get nothing out of it.
No.
I can't do it. Breaks my heart.
They need to drop some bombs.
I hope they have something like in the back
pocket,
burner,
right? Yeah.
And they're just waiting for it. And they're like, all right, let's see what else is Microsoft going to do.
But what the fear is, they say like, hey, we bought Metal Gear, and then Microsoft's like, we bought Capcom.
Oh, that's cute. You bought a game. Oh, that's so cute. We bought like 12 studios.
What is it? They open up a garage door, and it's like Ubisoft is in there, Capcom is in there. It's like, we got these guys in the back.
It's like, yeah, you walk into Olive Garden. We're all family here. What do you got?
Family.
So you know who else entered the ring? I know you have Stadia, which is unknown. I mean, they just beat up on the floor. You have Nintendo, you have Microsoft, and you have Sony entering the ring. We know this company has entered the ring before, but they've been very quiet. But guess what? Today they announced the Master Cup. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, the Stadia, the Luna. So they announced Luna. Amazon has announced the cloud gaming service where it's easy to play great games on devices you already own. No waiting for lengthy downloads or updates. Just play. So, Luna gets you $5.99 a month for unlimited hours of play, growing library of games, up to 1080p, 60 frame rates per second, 4K coming soon, stream on 2 devices at the same time, play on PC, Mac, Fire TV, web apps for iPhone and iPad. So, and then Ubisoft is going to come soon into there. So I guess Stadia is also Ubisoft is also going to this streaming because they already do it with Stadia.
They do it with everyone.
Pretty much.
First on everything.
So
they're that one kid that's like, pick me.
They're also going to be partnering. I mean, they own Twitch, so they're also going to be trying to sync in with their Twitch servers, things going on there. So yeah, so look forward to, I guess, Luna. It looks I'm not gonna buy it. It looks
bad name, man. What a bad Amazon owns Twitch. Call it Twitch. Yeah. Call it Twitch game streaming. Call it like you have already a streaming platform related to gaming. Call it that thing.
Do you see the controller for this?
You mean the Xbox controller?
The Xbox controller.
or the Nintendo Pro controller. It's just the same thing.
It's got the purple little logo on it. That's it. That's the only difference. Wow.
Listen, this is we're kind of clowning on it, but it's actually a pretty interesting and big deal. Like, they are out the door eating Google's lunch. Because what Google's doing with the Stadia, remember, it's a la carte gaming. You have Stadia, you have to pay for the Pro subscription a month, and then you have to buy each game individually. It's not a subsystem. It's not like Game Pass, where you pay $15 a month and you get 200 games. You have to buy Destiny, you have to buy Doom, you have to buy Assassin's Creed. What Amazon is doing is they have a channel system. So, hey, you'll pay $15 a month to have access to the Ubisoft channel, and then Ubisoft will put a bunch of their games, and you flip to their channel, and you have their games to play. Ostensibly, eventually, they'll have an EA channel, a Take-Two interactive channel, et cetera, and you'll pay subscriptions for each one. And I think the more you have, the cheaper the subs get. So it's an interesting alternative to what Google is doing and what Microsoft is doing. And this right here is your proof in the pudding of what Microsoft was trying to get ahead of, because they knew that the future was going to be competing with Amazon and Google.
And the game lineup, I'm looking at it right now. You have Control on there. You have Grid. You have Resident Evil Biohazard.
Basically by publisher.
Yeah, they it says here all to explore action adventure platform indie shooter games, racing, classic games from Ubisoft, Capcom, 505 Games, and Team 17. So
and HAL is on there. That's big.
Well, it's big. Ubisoft. It's going to be on. It's going to be on everything. Literally, it's on Stadia even.
Yeah. What? So it's that looks fun and promising. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on with video games this week.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically, it's going to be the same format as what their Prime Video is, where you can have subscribe to HBO, Stars.
Literally, that is a perfect analogy.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how that's going to pan out.
Yeah. Again, it's compared to, and here's the interesting thing. Comparing it to xCloud, and let's use Microsoft as a comparison because Stadia is in a different ballpark. You know, this is interesting because it's going to have new game releases as part of those subscriptions. Game Pass will only have some new games. Obviously, all the first-party Microsoft published games, anything from Bethesda, anything from 343, et cetera. But if you pay for these channels, you'll get the new Ubisoft games, or you'll get the new 505 release games. So it gives you a different, I guess, subscription model to consider. Do you want to pay more money for newer games, or do you want to pay less money for, a bigger catalog, for a longer period of time?
Yeah,
interesting.
It's going to be if they're able to pull it off, that is going to be a great challenge for the next gen system, just because of affordability. Will you prefer to buy a $500 console, pay $15 a month, and play any game you want? Almost close to the same resolution. And a lot of gamers, I mean, I recently started seeing the difference. I still can't tell, maybe because my eyes are not that well, but the frame rates and all this 1080p and 7. I mean, you can tell the difference, but if you can't tell, then Stadia or Amazon Luna is the game.
More than enough.
It's more than enough. You're getting the games, and you're getting good games. You're not getting cheap games and bad games. You're getting really AAA title games, so it's worth the money. And those who can't afford video games, so you can't pay the 50 month, and next month you get able to pay, then you go back and play in those games. So it's very affordable. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch. We're gonna keep an eye on that. Lately, this month is Hispanic Heritage Month, and I actually took a challenge to myself to look at Hispanic influence in video game culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. There's nothing there, except that I did find something fun. And you guys ever play this game called Kingdom Rush on your iPhones or on your mobile devices called Kingdom Rush?
I mean, I know of it, but I haven't played it.
Well, it was a Latin America developer. Actually, it was developed from. Let me just read this real quick. Kingdom Rush became an overnight success. It was actually based from Uruguay, based from Ironhide Game Studios. So a very popular game actually came from a Latin American country. So shout outs to them. That's all I have. I couldn't find anything. It's very sad.
I was gonna say, I guess great. Ugh.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on culture, except of the representation of Hispanics in video games such as Rico, very suave, but really that's not really a good representation. And other games such I couldn't find much. So it's very disappointing. I'm gonna keep looking, and then hopefully I'll find a gemstone, and I'll gladly share with you guys.
I mean, the thing is, there are really good game developers that are, Latino or Hispanic that make really good games, like Mercury Stream making the Castlevania Lords of Darkness series, the guys that made Blasphemy, and there are good developers, but they usually don't make games that fall into that culture, our culture, I guess, ostensibly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say about that. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're underrepresented, but at least we're not universally culturally oppressed. So I guess there's
100%.
Could be a lot worse.
All right. So I know I'm not going to get political on this part, but I just want to make sure everybody who is a United States citizen to please take the time this coming November and vote. If you don't know how to register, if you don't know anything like that, a great site that I actually recommend, and I recommend a lot of my family too, rockthevote.org. Very simple to use. There's a tab that says how to vote. You click on it, click the state that you're in, and it gives you all the listings of things you can go, where to register, how to request an absentee ballot, how to request a mail-in ballot. Very simple. The importance of voting, it's in your duty as a citizen. So yeah, that's just pretty much all I have to say about that.
Just vote. Fucking vote.
Pretty much.
No excuse. Yeah.
There's no excuse. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it and then not do anything about it.
Exactly. Vote.
Yes.
I don't care who you vote for. Just vote.
Exactly. then don't complain. If you vote, then you can complain all you want. But if you don't
Exactly.
vote, then don't come and complain to me.
If you don't vote, you shut up for the next 4 years.
Exactly. All right. So I know we've talked about it, and people want to know what else what does this mean about Microsoft purchasing Cinemax? So tell me, Ross, what's the purpose of this? What happened? Like, it came out of nowhere. It was a Monday morning. We're just waking up, and boom, open your face.
Yeah.
Like, this it has sent such a shockwave through the games industry that is still being felt, today at the end of the week. People are still talking about it because it, like you said, it came out of nowhere. And it's not just, a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, Microsoft bought Bethesda. It's not just that they bought Bethesda, they bought ZeniMax, the parent company, which includes 9 or 11 other developers. That is a lot. There are a lot of hit games. They bought id. Doom is theirs. Quake is theirs. Wolfenstein is theirs. There are a lot of IPs that now belong exclusively to Microsoft. And like I mentioned earlier, that makes their game streaming service and their console a lot more appealing for a lot more people. And there's been a lot of talk like, oh man, is this going to come out for the PlayStation 5? Because a lot of these games, this, and that. And they've already said, outside of the 2 games that they already have exclusivity agreements with Sony on, which is, what are they, Juancho? Deathloop.
Yes, Deathloop and the one with the Tokyo.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah, Tokyo something for some reason. So those 2 games still have that 1-year exclusivity, but after that, Microsoft is not beholden to release games on Sony's console. So I actually don't see them doing that. So back to the purchase itself, I think the biggest takeaway from here is not just that they bought all these developers, but that they also got access to the Orion technology. And I don't know if you guys remember from last year at the Bethesda E3 presentation, Orion is their streaming technology solution, which vastly reduces latency and data usage when streaming games. So just by buying this corporation, this company, they now have a massive technology boost in the streaming world. Damn. So again, this is not so much to hit Sony over the head, but to put some spears and pikes up against Google and Amazon.
It fits though, but Bethesda fits with Microsoft. Doom,
of course,
being a computer game that was exclusive for computer back in the early 90s, and then in Colombia, back before I came to the United States, I remember playing my first computer game in school, and the teacher's son had bought Doom, and we installed it in the computer. Bro, I was killing it at the age of 5 in that game. I enjoyed Doom so much. It was amazing. So having a developer that was strictly for PC come back to its roots, I can only imagine the creativity of trying to get back to its roots again. I know that they've been making amazing things ever since.
Icing on the cake for you. I don't know if you know who John Carmack is. But John Carmack was one of the original founders of id, along with John Romero, and he is probably one of the best programmers alive today. And he left id after ZeniMax bought them, and there was a lot of bad blood there. But after Microsoft bought, id, the first thing he posts is, "Oh hey, I don't have any beef with Microsoft. I might come back and touch some of my old IPs."
I saw that 2 days ago, actually, man.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And going to Bethesda, Bethesda has been making RPGs for 25 years plus. Daggerfall, Arena, Redguard, and their first, I would say, major, huge hit, which was Morrowind. And I don't know if either of you guys have heard of or played Morrowind.
Yeah,
but that game was big. It came out in 2002. And on PC, it was a hit, but they released it on the Xbox, the OG Xbox.
Yep, the big black box.
And the fact that it ran on that Xbox was already impressive, but it ran pretty well. And it became such a big hit, and it made Bethesda so much money that they became the juggernaut they are today. They were able to make games like Skyrim. They were able to buy the Fallout license and make Fallout games. So them falling back under Microsoft's umbrella, I guess, like you said, it fits for them. And it's going to be hopefully a pleasurable and beneficial partnership. Ultimately, we are going to benefit from it. So
100%.
Yep, I'm excited. That's all I can say. I'm excited. We'll
get Master Chief Doom crossovers.
Oof.
You know,
imagine you can,
or maybe like Gears of War, Elder Scrolls crossover.
Are we actually going to get a proper Tom Clancy game at one day? Or just put that out there?
Well, Tom Clancy license is owned by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it out there. It's just anybody that wants to pay attention. Roz has been asking for it for a while.
Yeah, no, but I was going to say, like, I would really hope somebody could either light a fire. Wait, you know what? No, what am I talking about? We already have. Who's Ubisoft making a Splinter Cell game for? Is it Google?
No, they're making
or for Oculus.
Yeah, for Oculus, yes.
So they're making a Splinter Cell game for Facebook. Thanks, I guess.
You can wear your 3D goggles.
Thanks.
Yay!
Facebook gaming.
I mean, since Mixer went away, they had to go somewhere. So I'm looking forward to that. I forgot about the Orion's technology that Bethesda has. I'm gonna be interested for next year's E3 when we finally able to have an E3 if we make it past all the way to E3. To see how they're gonna
cool.
how are they going to present their show.
Yeah,
because Microsoft has Microsoft. Bethesda
that's all it is for sure.
But now it's just gonna be Microsoft, and then here we go, Bethesda.
It's gonna be a 2-hour show instead of like an hour and a half. It'll be 2 hours, maybe even 2.5 hours. They have so many. They have more. Oh my god, they have more studios than Sony does now.
and on top of that, they bought all these studios, but they have 2 studios with their own IPs, brand new IPs for them, which were not named. I looked at their list of studios. Somebody had posted something on Twitter, and it's interesting to know that there's so much. I was reading something the other day when I was looking into an article. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft had $137.8 billion cash, and it may be more or maybe less since the acquisition, but still, that's a lot of cash in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you compare to all these other companies, I'm like, oh, let's keep buying them. Like, I wish they can buy.
What did Satya Nadella say on Wednesday? Microsoft CEO, that they're not done buying game studios.
No,
I don't see that they are.
Hopefully, Devolver. I really hope so. It fits so well.
You know, Devolver's a good studio, but they're not exactly money makers. I love their games. I think every game Devolver makes is super cool.
It's so good.
But think about it. Like, nothing has been like. Actually, who published Among Us?
I don't know who it was who published Among Us.
No, Innersloth. So it was self-published. So
yeah.
Probably not going to be Devolver who they buy. It'll probably be another mid-sized publisher that they'll buy. And it's not going to be a Japanese studio. Everybody's like, oh, they got to buy a Japanese studio. They got to buy Sega. They got to buy Capcom.
Going Western. The only
reason they wouldn't buy one, let me not say that. They could, but the only reason it would be difficult is they would have to contend with the Japanese version of the FEC and the SEC. And they're not really keen on selling Japanese companies to foreigners. That's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
I can see Sony buying Konami before Microsoft.
True.
So man, you might get your wish.
Hey, let's do it. It would be part of the saving grace.
It's not like you get Konami. You don't get the Godfather, so you just get Konami Studios. Kojima left. Yeah, it's just Kojima Studios.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so all the fans that put that page out there, you guys suck.
I'm sorry to break that to you, but
no,
he left about a year or 2 years ago. Yeah, it's just Kojima Studios now. He left Konami.
I keep forgetting that Konami's a husk.
Yeah.
See, now I
you can buy Konami.
now I understand Squeezy Bits' comment on that. Now it makes sense.
Yeah,
Now it
because
makes sense.
all of Kojima's games are starting to stream into the PC. So, I mean, he's his own. That's his own studio. So I don't think they're going to even buy it. He's going to plan to sell it or anything like that. That's just for rumors. That's we don't quote us on this. Another
Subject
thing.
over.
Yeah, another thing that we talked that happened this week. Netflix gave another stab to some of you guys. I can care less. Dark Crystals: Age of Resistance.
That's the reason why my face was shocked. I just read it. I was like, oh, no.
So what I mean, I remember the Dark Crystals from many years ago. I haven't even picked up the new series. It's just it's not something appealing to me.
You were a child that had no childhood. Then you were a dead person.
No, I mean, I remember this
of a human being.
but now I don't. Now it's just like,
Did your parents ever hug you? Did anyone ever tell you they love you?
No.
Were you raised by wolves?
Maybe.
Now it makes sense.
So yeah, I guess Netflix announced today, this week, that they are canceled Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. Hopefully, I've noticed a pattern with Netflix shows that do great with their own own population or their own audience. Other studios end up buying them and they actually start doing good. One of the series that got renewed for 3 seasons and they got canceled one day at a time. I know it's a weird different show than this, but got picked up by a random cable network, and then now it got bought by CBS, and now it's going to be planned there. So there's always hope for these Netflix shows. Yes, to be canceled, to be picked up by another streaming service or another channel if they're pitched correctly. So hopefully there's still hope out there for Darflex and Vibe to be able to continue exploring their dark crystals of resistance. But till now,
I enjoyed it too. Okay, don't put it on them. I enjoyed it too. It was a good series. Okay, it was a good movie. It was a good series, and this hurt my heart. And I want to let everybody know out there. We need to boycott this. This is horrible. I mean I know Netflix. Roz, your mic. You're muted.
Oh, wait.
Still?
There we
no,
go.
Now you're good.
Oh, weird.
All right. So,
no, I was saying it was bad enough that Netflix basically pushed out an executive that greenlit the show, Cindy Holland, who is a big deal at Netflix. Let me tell you what she brought to production. She gave us Orange is the New Black, Ozark, which is amazing, and Stranger Things. So she's a hit maker, and this show must have either financially hit Netflix so bad or had such bad viewership that they actually pushed out an exec that was very, very successful over it. That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the game of business, bro. Another great announcement this week, actually, that made my heart feel wonderful and amazing is that WandaVision trailer review.
Hey.
The WandaVision trailer came out this week, and it looked amazing.
Did you see it, man?
I did. I definitely saw it.
I enjoyed it a lot. I really, really felt a nice sense of old school.
What do you guys think?
I'm looking forward to it. It has great actors. I'm a little bit confused as to what it is, but I'm intrigued. If I'm enjoying Raised by Wolves, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy WandaVision.
I can tell you.
What? Don't be too hyped about it.
Raz is like, you saw. He's like, I can tell you guys. You want to listen? I can tell you.
No, man. What's your thoughts on it?
So, when I saw the trailer, I was super excited to see what happens. To me, it looks like a Ghost in the Machine kind of vibe, because it looks like there was that one part where who was it? Katie Holmes, I think it was, in the car where he touched her on the shoulder and he's like, "Oh, or am I dead?" And she turned and looked at him. She's like, "No, I'm not dead, but you are." So I was like, "Oh, so what is he going through right now?" Like, so it gave me that Ghost in the Machine kind of vibe, and I'm excited to see where that's gonna go. Like, I love it. I love it.
Have either of you guys ever read a comic book that stars Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, or no?
No.
No, sir.
So her superpowers in the movie were just like shooting laser beams at her fingertips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
In reality, her superpowers are the ability to fucking bend reality itself. She is one of the most, if not the most powerful mutant that exists. I think this is all in her head. Or that she created this reality to cope with the fact that the Vision was killed and that she wasn't able to save him. Because she is powerful enough to do that. And that this is going to be a show watching her basically deteriorate emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, because that Truman Show vibe that really threw me off.
Oh yeah.
But the show did say that this is a great link to the next phase. All these Disney Plus shows are for the next phase. So
this connects to the madness, right?
Yes. So it explains why Wanda is if you described it, probably in the end of it of the series, well, they'll probably say, you see her wake up from it, and it was all a dream. But I can relate to what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, in the comics, it just won't happen in any movie because it's the direct opposite of what could happen. But she went through some shit and basically deleted the universe and all mutants except for 300 total from the universe entirely.
So she did her own version of Thanos.
Crisis. Snap. Yeah. She did her own Thanos snap or Crisis on Infinite Earths from DC. So that's how powerful she is. She was able to basically rewrite everything. Now, I'm guessing that at the end of her series, when the new phase begins, she's going to do something similar to that, only the direct opposite. She's going to bring mutants into her, quote, our reality.
Inhumans.
And that's how they're going to link the X-Men universe to the Avengers universe.
Hopefully do it.
That's my guess.
Oh man.
I like your guess.
That's
well, we'll see what happens. Look at Madman's thinking. He's like, I'm intrigued.
Sorry. Where's that?
All right. So I know this was been news already. But Tom Holland to star in the Uncharted movie. Madman, I know that you mentioned it. He said that it was something he dreamed it would be. He says the movie is everything I dreamed it would be. I think he can play some good Drake. I enjoyed the first three games. Yep. I enjoyed the first three games. I never got to play the third one just because I kept freezing and I called GameStop and they didn't want to give me my money back or replace the game. So I couldn't get past the last level. I really just every time I boot it up, there you go. Back. I tried to start over. It crashed right in the same place. So never got to finish the game. It looks like a Indiana Jones style movie. I don't know. Do we need another Indiana Jones style movie?
We don't have a lot though.
Maybe, but do we need another one? I mean, do we? Tom, I think.
I think it should have been Nathan Fillion playing,
Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake.
There is a rumor that Mark Wahlberg is going to be Sully, and that has kind of sent some people over a little edge over that. So
that's odd.
Yeah.
So this is like super baby Drake.
It seems like it.
Unless they age him really well. I mean,
but I would say this is going to be less of an Indiana Jones movie and more of a Tomb Raider movie.
True.
Because remember, the Uncharted games are essentially Tomb Raider with a guy.
Yeah.
I forgot to put that one up earlier.
There we go.
On Division. Okay.
Lovely.
And then this one was supposed to be for this topic.
Yes, all the backgrounds for every single time.
There you go.
Look how badass that looks. That
looks pretty good.
Spidey.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Again, baby Drake. I'm okay with baby Drake.
He's all grown up.
He's not Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah, no. Alrighty. So John Cena starting in a Suicide Squad spin-off for his own show on HBO Plus as Peacemaker. But will we see him though? Will we see him? Because
what do you mean?
See him. Yeah, him.
What do you mean? Will we see him?
Because you can never see John Cena.
Oh, you're doing the thing.
Yeah. Listen, so far I'm enjoying the HBO Max shows. They're very catered to a mature audience, and I'm loving every single second of it. Yes, they have their own kids, but I know I mentioned this 3 podcasts ago how great HBO Max is, and it hits every single bit of my interest. The next show I'm gonna Lovecraft. It's a work
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country, and I'm gonna pick up another one that just came out. The American Pickle American, whatever it's called, with
An
Seth
American Pickle, yeah.
American Pickle. Yes, there we go.
Oh,
I started
shit.
watching a little bit of it. It's really good.
It's actually better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm really enjoying what HBO Max is coming out, and to know that there's another spin-off coming out, there, I'm really, really intrigued by it. I mean, what do you guys think of having John Cena have his own spin-off show? And I'm not talking about the character, just talking about the actor John Cena. We've seen him play from Daddy Fireman to an adventure hero that goes into the jungle and saves the mines. I mean, we've seen him play all these different roles, but will we enjoy seeing him on himself throughout the whole series? Good question.
I'm interested to see where they're going to go. I mean, already off the bat, because it's the same thing as the show Boys, which the only thing I'm going to say about that is Homelander is a douchebag version of Superman. So Peacemaker is supposed to be the douchebag version of Captain America. I want to see where this is going to pan out. I want to see how this goes. I'm intrigued. I mean, to see John Cena actually be somewhat in maybe a familiar element for himself, I can see that. I'm interested. I'm all about it. Let's do it.
It's going to be fun and cheesy. I'm 100% on board. Like you said, I think the DC shows have turned out to be really good as long as they're not on the CW. If they're on the CW,
you're going to get a teenage drama.
It's pure basura, like just unadulterated, distilled crap. With some exceptions. The first season of The Arrow was good-ish. Anyway, like Doom Patrol. Crap, man. I didn't expect Doom Patrol to be so good.
I still haven't started watching it. I have to jump on that.
Really should.
Doom Patrol, or that'll be the next one I'll watch after I finish up. Okay, get caught up on Lovecraft Country. I'm already racing wolves, and yeah, I mean,
Lovecraft Country is perfectly okay.
I mean, I want to know what the hype is about. I want to really get into it. I've seen people, oh my god, you need at Starbucks. Oh, you need to check Lovecraft Country. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. It's amazing.
I will help. I'm gonna help you and Man and anybody listening out that hasn't seen it yet. Do not go into that show expecting anything else except a pulp fiction style story. And I'm not talking about Pulp Fiction, the Tarantino movie. I'm talking the classic, comics and movies from the 19-teens to the 40s and 50s, the fantasy sci-fi movies and stories from that era, the pulp comics and the pulp books, like Night of the Living Dead, or They Came from the Moon, Swamp Thing, perfect. Bela Lugosi in anything. That genre is what this is. It is not highbrow entertainment, but it's not lowbrow either. It is perfectly in the middle. So go into that expecting something adequate, and you'll really enjoy it.
There we go.
Sounds good for me.
I'm gonna check it out just because I just heard great things of it. Another thing, let's we have the Boys review. I have not watched the Boys, and I'm not planning to watch it anytime soon, guys. I'm sorry.
Move on. Let's move on. Jump it.
That's it. Do you guys have any other extra things you guys want to discuss with me and tell me today? Because that's all I have for y'all.
You can't review the next two things, so yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No, we're gonna do something special. We're gonna do something special. I mean, you guys can talk about it. I can care less about the Boys. I really can care less. It's not something that I'm attracted to watching. What do you guys think about episode 5?
Episode 5 was
we got to go now. Homelander and Stormfront become a powerful couple, and Billy reunites with his boy.
Okay, yeah, that one was all right. Did you watch it, man?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm still like torn up about the show, man. I don't know what the show's story is turning into because they haven't really been doing anything for the last 4 episodes. It's been really cool to watch, right? But
it's been like super semi-emotional. It's like everybody's kind of trying to reach out to where they're at emotionally.
yeah,
You know, so yeah, I don't really know where they're going right now. You got the Deep going through his emotional stuff,
right.
And you have A-Train going through his emotional stuff.
Even Homelander.
Yeah, Homelander and Stormfront, like they're getting
They're going through
together
that
shit. So it's weird. It's weird where they're going right now, but I'm interested in seeing where they're eventually going to end up going because it threw me off.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see where the show is now because it's nothing like the comic book outside of like the major characters and story beats. Because, you know, have you guys read the comics? Are you going to read the comics at all?
I mean, you said something about you're going to share the link.
Yeah, but you said you're not interested, so it doesn't really. This isn't a spoiler because it happens first issue. Everybody has powers on that show. That is a part of the boys. They're all powered people. Isn't like that on the show. They're not. I don't see how the story of the comic book, which is them hunting supers, it never made it onto the show. Like outside of the first time when they got the invisible dude, it hasn't been a thing that they've really done much of. And the last time they tried to do it, they failed spectacularly. Right? It got so bad that a Nazi, killed an entire apartment complex full of people. So I really am interested to see where it's going to go because I don't know anymore. It's really actually refreshing for me because I don't like it when an adaptation follows the source material perfectly because then I know what I'm going to watch.
Yeah. Because that's what you said in the last episode. You were like, "Oh, I have nothing to say because I know what's going to happen." And for you to you now, you're like,
I'm really happy because I thought it was going to go a certain way. Because every now and then they've like said this is exact. No, they are really going their own path, and that is pretty great.
It's good. It's brilliant because I mean, like I said, I like where they're going. I'm confused, but I like it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. If anything, speed it up. Come on.
Yeah. Who's next?
Yeah, exactly. Give me some more. I need some.
Alright, so we're gonna be working on trying to find out a date so we can all do the review Raised by Wolves. Maybe hopefully soon. I think I'm pretty sure that the season might be over very soon. It's getting very towards the end of the season. I think
next week, right?
Hopefully, yeah. It looks like you can tell when the season's over. So once the season's over, you're gonna have 45 minutes of us talking just about Raised by Wolves special, and we go from there. So guys, you can find us on Geek Bros on Twitter, Facebook at Geek Bros with a 0. You can email us at geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com. The first place, the only first place, bbgeek.com. Shout out to Mike. We love you, Mike. And if you want to see our beautiful uncut versions at youtube.com/Red Studios. You can check me out at _Juancho with a 0. My man.
Facebook man, and Instagram and Twitter is manman17093. That's it.
On Twitter, just Raziella. Facebook, Raziella Yala. Find me for just me being angry, posting political bullshit.
I haven't seen you post much, but I gotta look. I
can't do political stuff. It's a nasty monster.
Thank you for tuning into Keeping Up with the Geek Bros podcast. Geeking out still sounds this good. Peace, guys.
Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.